Welcome back to another Millennial and Debt video. It is also Tuesday, right? So that's Stock Tip Tuesday. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you want to make sure you are following on Instagram, where I share tons of information on stocks, whether it be in a post or an Insta story. You also can follow here. Sorry, just had to make sure my audio was in check. You could also follow here for weekly updates on videos, weekly updated videos on stocks. So make sure you subscribe and hit the ding so you get a notification every single time I upload a video. Let's jump right into it. Before we get into the information, I always want to give you two pieces of warning. Two warnings? I don't know. Whatever. First thing, this is not insider trading. There will be no insider information. I have no insider tips. And if I did, I wouldn't share them because it's illegal. All right. And there will be no insider information in these comments. I will block and delete them oh so fast. Right. These are just general tips of advice based off of facts, historical facts on how companies have performed during the recession. That's one. Two, anytime you get involved in New York Stock Exchange or anything that's going to take huge chunks of your money or any amount of your money, you want to speak to a professional. You want to speak to a financial advisor to make sure you are doing what is best for your money. And now that those legal warnings are out of the way, let's get right into it. These are going to be 7 stocks or types of stocks that do really well during recession that you want to invest in and make sure that you're doing it wisely, but that you are giving your money the best opportunity to grow and do well. Now, the first type of stock that you want to invest in during a recession is a core sector stock. Now, what that means are things that are necessities in people's lives, no matter whether there's an economic boom or an economic downturn. So those are things like food. We gotta eat. Utilities, because people will pay their gas bill, they will pay their light bill, they will pay their water because they need these things in their lives, in their homes, no matter whether or not they have excess money, they're going to pay for their utilities, right? And those are other things like toilet paper. Who knew? All right, so anything that people really, really need, they're going to still do well during these time periods. Now, the second type of stock that you want to look into are high-yielding dividend stocks or dividend companies. So a dividend is really the money that a company will give to you based off of you investing in them. So it's kind of a thank you for trusting them to use your money in their company. Now, dividends are based off of profit from that company. So if a company is really profitable, that is one key thing to look for in whether or not they're going to be giving dividends. You can Google, because I spent so many hours Googling different companies that have had consistent dividends on a 5, 10, 50, and 100-year basis. And those are the companies you want to look into giving your money because they have actively shown that they can successfully succeed through an economic downturn, through a recession. So those are big box companies. Smaller companies are really not going to be giving out dividends, especially if they're not profitable just yet. There are 5 sectors out of the 11 in the New York Stock Exchange that really often do high yield dividends, right? So when you think about that, you would think it's big finance, basic materials. What was the other 3? Give me one second. Utilities, healthcare, and oil and gas. So when you're looking into high dividend companies, you want to look into things like Exxon. You want to look into things like Chevron. You want to look into things like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Visa. These are the companies that have proven time and time again. Also Con Ed. New York, thank you. Con Ed has proven through the test of time that they are able to succeed and give high yielding dividends. And this is a great source of passive income. If you want more ideas about passive income, you can click the link right above here, where I've shown you different ways that you can make passive income money in your sleep, essentially. So you do not have to go out and work for this money. And it is another source of income. The third type of stock that you want to invest in during the recession is real estate. You knew this was coming, so I figured I would just throw it out here early on in the video. Real estate during a recession. Here's what happens. If you are a homeowner, it is a nightmare for you. If you are a real estate investor or looking to get into the real estate investing game, it is like a gold mine for you, right? Because the values of homes drop. So that means if I bought a home for $500,000 during a recession, it is likely that home will be worth $200,000 or $300,000. Well, hopefully not that big of a drop, but $200,000 or $300,000. So as the homeowner, I am losing money. However, as an investor, if I was eyeing a home that was $1 million and now it's worth $500,000, I can now buy it and wait for the market to go back up because it always does. And as the market goes back up, I am gaining a profit. So I can either do one of 2 things. I can either sell the property once the value goes up, which I don't always recommend, but people do it and it's fine. do what's best for you, do what's best for your money, right? So that's one option. Or the second option is you become essentially a landlord and you rent out this property, making money for yourself in order to pay your mortgage, right? So someone else is really paying your mortgage and you have bought this property at a much lower rate than what it was a year ago, 6 months ago, a week ago. It's getting crazy out here. All right. The next type of stock that you want to invest in, or type of investments you want to make during a recession, are for precious metals. Now, we're going to reel this back. I don't invest in precious metals. I've never done it before. I don't even really know 100% how to do it. I'm sure I could figure it out in a few hours or days. I won't toot my own intelligence, the horn of my intelligence. But the reason that precious metals, although are considered a luxury, they always do well during a recession. But the problem is during recession, people kind of run to those types of items. And so the price doesn't drop. The price will remain either the same or go up. So you're not really going to be gaining anything at like a discount or on sale, really. So that's my caveat. So I've mentioned it. And if it's something you want to look into, right? Gold, people always looking to invest in gold. Go for it. I don't do it. I don't know if I don't know, but it's something if you want to think about. I'm throwing it out there as an option. The next type of stock that you want to invest in is telecommunication. I know that's so old school because it's like, what? But I'm going to voice my 2 cents, and this is just my 2 cents. It is not a stead hard fast rule. If you're investing in companies like Verizon, AT&T, I'm going to stop at Verizon and AT&T. You want to think about it. People need phones. Phones are not considered a luxury anymore. Cell phones, especially cell phones, are very, very, very much a part of the fabric of who we are as people. And especially with all this remote learning, this remote teaching, this remote work from home, people not only need their phones, they need Wi-Fi, right? And these companies are offering Wi-Fi. They're doing all these things. So they are going to last during a recession because people need them. No one's really going to cut off their Wi-Fi or cut off their phone company during a recession. It's not what it used to be in the past, where you'd be like, I'll just use my house phone. What house phone? I ain't seen a house phone in years, bruh. Right? So that is something you want to think about, telecommunication or telecommunication companies, because they're offering more than just phone services at this point. And phone services are very crucial to the fabric of who we are now as a nation, as a world, right? I don't know the last time I haven't checked my iPhone in a day. It's actually very sad, but it is what it is. The last type of stock that you are going to want to look into investing or think about investing in are the utilities sector. Like I mentioned, there are 11 different sectors in the New York State Stock Exchange. All right, tongue twister. And utilities is one of the ones that offers high dividends, like I mentioned in the earlier tip, but it's also a necessity. So it's in the core sector tip as well, right? And it's its own tip. So that's how you know it's really important. So companies like GE, companies like Con Ed, companies like, I don't even know if PSEG is publicly traded, but companies like PSEG, because people need electricity, people need gas, people need water, people still need to live some sort of semblance of their normal life. And these are essentially basic utilities, basic needs, because I don't know about you, but I need my heat. I need my air conditioning. I need my lights. I need my water. So I'm not that much of a minimalist. I need these things. So these are things you want to think about when investing. All these tips, what they have in common, what do people need, right? So like I mentioned, or I think I mentioned, I've invested in Walmart. Why? Not just because people are flocking to Walmart for toilet paper, but in the long game, during a recession, I'm not going to want to go to a Macy's, or I'm not going to want to go to, I'm thinking of Nordstrom or Bloomingdale's. I'm going to take my behind to Walmart and buy clothes at a discount. I'm going to take my behind to Walmart and buy toilet paper at a discount. I'm going to take my behind to Walmart and buy cleaning supplies at a discount, because I still need these things, but I don't want to pay the higher luxury price that I was paying when I was making more money or had access to more money, or my dollar went a lot further than what it does during a recession. Okay, and these are just things to think about, tips, advice, information that you want to know when thinking about investing in stocks. See you next week.